Hello, this is VG Shanmugapriya. Today we are going to see about restriction mapper tool. It is an online tool for restriction mapping of DNA. Restriction mapping is marking the location of restriction sites or the cut sites of restriction enzymes on a given DNA segment. Type 2 restriction enzymes are commonly used in restriction mapping because they have a lot of application in most of the molecular techniques as they cut at the recognition sites or very near to the recognition sites. And in wet lab, we know the procedure for restriction mapping. Given the DNA segment and the restriction enzymes, we do single digestion, double digestion, or triple digestion as needed. And then we run it in gel electrophoresis. We note the fragment size of the DNA and then we do the mapping. It is a very hectic process. Here, using this restriction mapper tool, restriction mapping can be carried out easily. Only thing is we need to provide DNA sequence here. For this, we can retrieve the DNA sequence from NCBI, which hosts millions of DNA sequence like genome sequence, gene sequence, contic sequence, etc. Right? So now we will see about these selective criteria which are given over here. We will first see about the conformation, which is circular and linear, what is frequency and overhang, and what is site length, plus this prototypes and isomers. Under conformation, you have two options, circular and linear. Whenever you submit a sequence of a vector or a prokaryotic genome, plant and bacterial plasmids or organella DNA like mitochondrial DNA, which are circular in shape, you need to select this option. For the other sequences like gene sequence or any portion of DNA like contic sequence, you can choose linear. You can note the difference here. When a circular DNA is cut at 3 sites, you get 3 fragments. When you cut a linear DNA at 3 sites, you get 4 fragments. Hence, you need to specifically denote which shape your DNA sequence belongs to. Frequency is the number of recognition, also known as restriction sites, for a particular restriction enzyme on a given DNA segment. Here you can see this is a linear DNA segment and this restriction enzyme EcoR1 cuts it at 2 places. Hence we say that the frequency is 2. Similarly here you can see SAP1, it cuts at 4 places and hence the frequency number is 4. Cut ends. You have two types. One is blunt ends and cohesive or sticky ends. For blunt ends, we can see an example ACC2. Here, the enzyme cuts right at the center of the recognition sequence. So, when the fragments get separated, you see their cut regions. They are smooth in nature. So, you call this as blunt ends. So, here the next thing is cohesive or sticky ends. They are of two types. One is 5' overhang and 3' overhang. Here, as an example, ACC65-1, where it cuts at these two places. Here, when there is a cut here, you see that when the fragments are separated, you can see the ends here. They are sticky in nature. They have one extended strand. One DNA strand is small and another DNA strand is larger. So here, when you see the large portion, it belongs to the 5' end. Here it is marked over here, and in this fragment you can see. Again, it is the 5' end which is lengthier. So this you call it as 5' overhang. Similarly here you can see upper one, it cuts at these two regions in its recognition site. So here when the fragments are formed, you see the 3' ends are extended. Right, so we call this as 3' overhang. Next, site length. Site length is the number of known DNA sequence at the recognition site of a restriction enzyme. Now you have this restriction enzyme ACC65-1 and here the recognition site, it has 6 sequences. So the site length is 6. Similarly, based on the number of known sequences here, you tell the site length. And to be noted, the restriction enzyme can cut at the recognition site or very close to the recognition site. Next thing is you see two other type of recognition sequences. Here you can see N in between. Here this N denotes any nucleotide sequence. It can be A, G, C or T. The number of N's are not counted and only the known sequences are taken into account. So here the site length is 6. Similarly, you can see here there are 4 sequence here and 3 here. So it is 7. And one more type is we know the nitrogenous bases A, G, C, T. Apart from them, we also see some other letters over here. They also denote the sequence, and now we will see what they belong to. So here the first AGCT. After that you can see if R. If R is there, it stands for ARG. Similarly, the other letters. Next, when two restriction enzymes cut the DNA at the same recognition site, then you call them as isosisomers. Neosisomers are a type of isosisomers where the two restriction enzymes recognize the same region, but they cut at different places. In the tool, you have two options, prototypes only and all isosisomers. If you choose the option prototypes only, in the result what you can see is for a single recognition site, if there are many enzymes which can recognize a single recognition site, only one enzyme will be given in the result. Whereas when you choose all isosisomers, for a single recognition site, all the enzymes which cut at that site will be listed. So here, for example, here what you see is this is a recognition site, and here when you choose all isosisomers, you can see many enzymes are listed. You can see 5 sequences are cutting at the same site, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? So but here when you see, there is only a single enzyme given for this recognition site. Now let's see to the working of the tool. Now restriction mapper version 3 is available, and this is the home page of the tool. First thing is you need to place the DNA sequence here. As said, no non-base letters are allowed. Means only nitrogenous bases A, G, C, T are allowed, and even N and other letters are not allowed. Numbers and spaces are okay. So you can paste the sequence either in GenBank format, or you can also take it in FASTA format. So now what I do is I take the sequence in FASTA format and only the letters I paste. There is no heading or FASTA format sign here. So now next thing is, let's see, as it is a gene sequence, here in the option I have chosen linear. And next thing is sort by. Sort by how you want the results to be sorted. So to explain other options, I have already submitted the sequence and I have got the result. I'll show along with that page so that it will be easy to understand. So here sort by frequency, overhang and name. So you want the results to be sorted, the enzymes. Result is you get the restriction enzymes, right? So you want the results to be sorted based on the number of cuts, and next based on overhang, and next based on alphabetical order. So you can see in the result page, the restriction enzymes which cut the given DNA segment are listed based on the number of cuts they give. So based on the frequency. So here you can see they are listed in the ascending order of cuts they give, right? Now here, the enzymes which give a specific number of cut are taken together. Means now for example number 1. Okay, so they are taken together and then they are segregated based on the overhangs they give. So first is the enzymes which give rise to blunt ends will be listed, and then again 5 prime and then 3 prime will be listed. And then the next thing is they are sorted again based on they are given the alphabetical order. See here you can see it is in the alphabetical order. So first all the blunt will be taken and they will be listed in the alphabetical order. Only those which give rise to 5 prime will be taken and then they will be listed according to the alphabetical order. Next option is filter by. Filter by, here what you say is maximum cuts, the default option is all. Here you can select the number over here, means those enzymes which can cut your sequence at only specific number of times. If you take 3, the enzymes which can cut your given DNA sequence at only 3 places will be listed in the result. And now here if you select all or 0, 0 is you will get the non-cutters. If you select all, with the default option all 2, you will get the non-cutters as well as the cutters. Now suppose you have a circular DNA sequence in hand and you want to know which enzymes you will cut it at one side so that you can linearize the sequence. So that time your option will be 1. Right? Now let's keep it as all here. And next thing is Minimum site length. Minimum site length is the number of sequences the restriction enzyme has. Based on that, your results will be filtered. Now the default option is 5. And here you have only numbers 4 to 8 because most of the recognition site of your enzymes, type 2 restriction enzymes will have only 8 sequences. Right. Next thing is select individual enzymes. Here the default option is all enzymes, or else you can also select individual enzymes. Here to select individual enzymes, you need to first select an enzyme, press Ctrl in your keyboard and then select other enzymes. Right. So here they are alphabetically listed here. So here next thing is all commercial. When you select all enzymes, you can see the option here. So all commercial and NEB only. All commercial is, it is said that there are more than 3000 restriction enzymes, of which only 600 are commercially used. So you get a list of only few enzymes which are there commercially available. And next thing is NEB is the enzymes which are sold by New England Biolabs. Okay. So you can choose any of your options here. Next, what you have, there is these options are already selected, 5-3- and blunt ends. So here, if suppose you need only blunt ends, you want in your results only the enzymes which give rise to blunt ends, then you can deselect it. So the next thing is prototypes only and all isoisomers. As we have seen already, prototypes will give you for a particular recognition site only a single enzyme will be given in the result, whereas all isoisomers will list all the enzymes for a particular recognition site. So based on the work you do, you will be choosing this option. Name of your sequence will be, the default is untitled. You can give a name of your choice. So this is the result page. First you see the name of the submission, and then the other default values or the user entered values will be shown here. And then the first thing what you see is non-cutters. As it was the default option all enzymes, the enzymes which do not cut the given DNA sequence will be listed first, and then the next thing is those which cut the DNA sequence will be listed here. So here we have already seen they will be first listed based on the frequency, then based on their overhangs, and then based on their alphabetical order of the sequence. So here, now let's see a single row. The name of the restriction enzyme will be given. The recognition site of it will be there. So the site length, the length of the recognition site will be given here. And then what type of overhang it gives, how many number of cut it gives, and then where is the cut position. When you want to just characterize a DNA sequence, you can choose the option all enzymes and you can get a result like this, and you can come to know what are the enzymes which can cut the given sequence and what all positions it cuts. So if you want to do restriction mapping, we need to choose only few number of enzymes. Let's see the other type of result from virtual digest. Here we need to choose only few enzymes, and the default option all enzymes shouldn't be used. So here let me choose by some randomly few and then give for virtual digest. So here it will give you when the given submitted DNA sequence, if it is simultaneously digested by the given restriction enzymes, what fragments will you get. So here this gives information about the fragment, sequence of the fragment, and now this fragments will be listed based on their length. So you can see here descending order of their lengths. Okay, so now, and the other thing is what are the two restriction sites on the 5' and the 3' end of this given particular fragment. So the main thing is what you get is the length of the fragment and then what is the sequence information. So now what I'll do is I'll be showing you two examples of how using this map sites and virtual digest, how do we construct a restriction map. For the first example from NCBI, I have taken the DNA sequence of a PageMed. You can see from the displayed information that it is circular and it has approximately 3000 base pair. Now from map sites, this is what the result page what I got. So first thing is, as I selected only two enzymes, both were cutters, and so now I need only their cut positions. How many places they cut and what are their cut positions. So now to map that on the to map it on that circular DNA, first I need to draw a circle. I'll tell you the simple way how to do it. Draw a circle. As you know, approximately it is 3000 base pair. Divide it into three parts and then mark here 1000, 2000 and 3000. So the starting one will be near to this. Then you can divide the spaces between 1 to 1000, 1000 to 2000, all this. Here you can either just draw the lines or you can mark them as 100, 200. Okay. Now next thing, see the cut position. Let's map now. Cut position is at 22. So here the starting point is here 1. So it will be very near to that. So we give a cut over here. Cut is marked here and we write the name of the restriction enzyme SSP1. Similarly, 2850. It is 2000 here, 2500 here. So 850 a cut is given here. Similarly, for ECI 1, 3 cuts are there. So those cuts are marked over here, 3 cuts. Now the other thing is, when the cut position is given 22, we need to understand that it is between 22 and 23. Okay, so similarly, when it is 2215, the cut is between 2215 and 1216. So what you do is, when you draw the cut here, write the number over here on top of the cut. To this map, we can even mark the size of the fragments. For that, we have to do virtual digest. So here, this is the result page of virtual digest. But the only thing is, I haven't given the full sequence information as it is not needed now. You can see the fragments are arranged in the descending order of their lengths. And then the other thing is the starting and the ending position. In the given sequence, what is the starting and the ending position of this fragment, of a particular fragment. Also, what were the restriction enzymes which had cut at the 5' end and at the 3' end. Here you can see in the map we have already marked this. So let's take for an example. It is the first fragment. The largest fragment is of 1193, and then it starts from position 23 to 1215. So now mark the fragment length over here. Curly braces you can put and show the fragment length. Likewise, for all these fragments, see the positions and then just mark the fragment length. So this will be the complete mapping of your DNA sequence given. Now next example, we will see a linear sequence. So next one, I have taken a spike protein, a bovine coronavirus spike protein. So it is linear and approximately 4000 base pair in length. Here few enzymes were selected. Of this, some 3 were non-cutters and 3 were cutters here. So here a linear sequence is drawn, and based on the cut positions, as same like that, we are going to mark the positions of the cuts. So for example, now ACC1 has a single cut at position 539. So here 539 you can show the cut. Similarly, for the other enzymes too, you can show the cut positions. Now here, as it is a linear sequence, we have drawn like this with 5' and 3'. Next thing is, when you come to virtual digest, the same here, I have not shown the full sequence information. Now see the sequence length. Here, you can see the fragment length starting and the ending position, as well as the enzymes which are responsible for the cut at both the places. Now the first thing is from position 1385 here 1385 to 2672. Already we have drawn the map over here. So I just mark the sequence position, I mark the fragment length over here 1288. Next thing is, the only thing what you can see the difference is to the last fragments. When you see here, here you can see from 1 to 539 is one fragment. So 1 to 539, when you mark it here, you can see in 1 there is no restriction enzyme which has cut it. Okay, so here it will show us none. And then in the 3 dash end it is ACC2. So it has shown here ACC2. Right? Similarly here, when you see here, you will get the information about the cut site at the 5 dash end, but for 3 dash end there will be no restriction enzyme shown. So you can see it over here. What is the position? The 4092, you can take the end position. Okay, this one 4092, you can see here 3 dash end there is no enzyme which is cut it, but in the 5 dash end it is AR1 which has cut it. Likewise, you can see to the starting and the ending position, and you can mark the fragment lengths on the given sequence. So this is about restriction mapping. So using first with map sites, you mark the cut positions, and using a virtual digest, you mark the fragment lengths over here. So thanks for watching.